So today I'm doing a top 10 worst Blazing Festival units in the game. Now, before I start, I have to keep in mind that I'm not gonna count the original 5 Blazing Festival units that are like when they released they were not supposed to be Blazing Festival, but they became Blazing Festivals for some reason. So Zabuza, Momochi, Silence, Madness, Rock Lee, the 8 Gates, who else? Gara, the Sen's Final Weapon, Itachi Uchiha, and there's someone more, right? Or is there? Oh, is it just 4? Okay, regardless, I'm not counting them because they technically are Blazing Festival units, but they weren't supposed to be, and they are just horrendous. You know, they were going to be the bottom of the list anyways, so I'm not counting them. But something else, if you have one of these units max duped and you love them, I'm sorry. I just did this list and I feel like it's somewhat correct. If you disagree with me, put your top 10 worst in the comments and let's begin. So, top 10, it's for PvE by the way. It's for PvE. If I did this for PvP, it would be different because my top 10 would not be Gara. I would never put Gara on this list if he meant for PvP, because he's an amazing unit for PvP, but for PvE he just doesn't cut anymore. So he has 50% damage reduction towards Wisdom. Being Wisdom himself means that the only way this ability would be useful is in the Wisdom team against a Wisdom raid for a Wisdom objective, but it's just not that useful really. It's just not that useful, and his jutsu is a 2x multiplier. Jutsu sealing, like most bosses are not even available to be jutsu sealed, and the ultimate would be nice if it was something like if they are attack reducted or anything, if they have sleep damage, but immobilized, no bosses can be immobilized either. So it's just useless, and being single target means that you're gonna be using a boss. So Gara, it's just the fate of an old unit. It just gets overshadowed by the others. So after him we have Killer B, completed Jinchuriki. It was tough to put in him because I like him, but like looking at a like really strict position, he is not one of the best units in the game. You know, he just isn't, because both of his jutsus are single target, and that is a huge drawback. AoE units are just gonna have like a spontaneous, it's just gonna be better, you know, it's just gonna be better. Like Hashirama is just infinitely better just because he has 2 AoE jutsus. Now he does have 300 self-healing, which is very useful, but still, the jutsus being single target is just not that great, and it doesn't do anything on the jutsus either. It's just damage. It doesn't even like jutsu seal or whatever. It's just damage, so I had to put him in place 9. After him we have Naruto 9 to the show. Now a lot of people are gonna be mad at this because it does hit very hard, but in today's standards, hitting hard is not enough. The thing is that the way that he works is just not that great, because if you don't know how he works, if you're very new to the game, he doesn't have a first jutsu. His first jutsu, he boosts himself. He gives himself a 50% attack boost for 9 turns and restores chakra by 2. The issue is that if you're gonna have a 6-man team, right? Especially on Bravery, where you don't need this, you know, you don't need this on a Bravery team. But let's say he's not on a Bravery team, he's just in a regular Rainbow team, for example. The 50% boost, you're gonna have to use 9 turns over and over and over to get this, plus getting chakra for him somehow, because he only restores 2 and he consumes 4. So it's just such a long time to boost himself up. Now granted, when he's boosted, he hits a lot, even on a normal attack, but it's just too time consuming to boost himself up when we have units that are already extremely good without having to drag for so long. Again, an example of a unit that he was so good, but time going on and he just got outdated, really. So after him we have Utakado, Feeling Tranquility. And also, I feel like a lot of people are going to be mad because he is, again, a very good unit, but he just got outdated. Reducing body damage is something that really doesn't cut, especially only 20% on abilities. Ignores barrier is pretty good, but there aren't many situations where he's going to be useful, because most barrier units, most barrier raids, excuse me, are going to be the Wisdom or Bravery. I feel like, yeah, most are going to be Wisdom and Bravery, or like, you want to have a unit that goes under 28 that does that, like Sage Mode Naruto. So it's just not very useful. Overall, it's not an ability that stands out a lot. And the wombo combo is nice, but after that, what can he do? You know, he doesn't heal. He does reduce damage by 20%, but he doesn't heal. He doesn't do anything like really extra. So that's why I placed him here in the list. So after him we have Obito, Uchiha, Despair of Loneliness. Again, a unit that got really outdated with time. When he released, I'm sure he was very good, but man, like only 15% chance of dodging, and you have to put so many abilities into him. And because he's 8 and 16, you need to have him fully duped, like for him to basically work, because 8 and 16 is just too terrible. And after you got him, really what he has of utility is just for his jutsu having slip damage. The ultimate does attack the whole map, but it just does damage. Hashirama, for instance, the Heart Hashirama, he attacks the whole map and he immobilizes everyone. So yeah, he just doesn't do anything extra. He just does damage, and he does the slip damage with only for jutsu, but so many units already do slip damage, so nothing special. And again, the chakra cost is just so ridiculous. 8 and 16, you have... I hate these reduced chakra gauge unit abilities, because it's just like fodder abilities to make you have to do it, to make the unit usable. Really don't like it, but yeah. Moving on with Pain, Signal Flare of Revolution. So the issue with Pain is that, again, he just does damage. Granted, he does heal for 1500 on his normal jutsu, but you have to be so close to the enemy to do that. Most of the time it's not going to be useful. Most of the time you want to have passive healing, or either like healing, normal healing, you know, just one unit with the other. And not only that, but his abilities are complete trash. So yeah, I only put him, you're gonna see a unit that is kind of similar to him, but I only put him above him because he does have the healing. Granted, it's not very usable, because most of the time you're not gonna be able to use it, especially because it's 5 chakra. And you have to be really close to the enemy to do that. Not only that, but his ultimate is kind of like just doing 2 jutsus. The jutsu is 6 times and the ultimate is 12 times. So just being AoE and not doing anything, just doing damage. So overall, just it's when we start getting the units that you don't want to pull. So after him we have Minato. Now again, this list is for PvE. If it was for PvP, I would never put Minato here, because he is one of the fastest units. He's the second fastest unit in the game. So he, of course, he's a very good unit for PvP, but he just does damage. This is the only thing he does, and it's not even great much either. He's a vast range unit with a very high attack stat, but his normal jutsu and ultimate are not high multipliers, and they're both single target jutsus that just does damage. Only reason why I didn't place him like the worst unit was because he goes under 28, and like that's something that you just can't ignore. Going under 28 is something that you just can't ignore, because it's going to be helpful on those objectives, and a lot of people struggle on those objectives. So if you manage to max dupe Minato, he can go under 28 and can be helpful. Because again, he's a unit that has a very high attack stat, and compared to like what most people are gonna have under 28, which is gonna be like 5-star units and such, he's gonna be very helpful, like swimsuit Naruto and stuff. So that's why I didn't place him the lowest. But if it wasn't for this cost, if he had like 30 cost, I would place him like the worst for sure. And then we have Sasuke. I know people are gonna be very angry. I know people specifically that are gonna be angry about this one, but he has to be put. It has to be put. So Sasuke, the long road to a tournament. He is such a waste of an opportunity, because this Sasuke in the anime is just such a strong character. The only good thing that he has is his body skill and field skill. Reduces damage by 20 to 25%, and body skill boosts attack. That's the only thing he has. He doesn't go into 28, as we've established. If he did, he would be good. But his normal jutsu is a single target jutsu that gives himself a 50% chance of chakra recovery ceiling resistance. It's not even chakra recovery ceiling the enemy, is resistance. And the ultimate attacks the whole map and gives him 80% chance of immobilization resistance. As we've established with Obito, just attacking the whole map is not that great. Sage 6 Pav's Madara, he attacks the whole map, but he immobilizes everyone with 100% chance. It's different, you know, it's different. He just attacks the whole map, but he just does damage. I use him quite frequently just because of the attack boost. I don't even like take him to use him. I just use attack boost because attack boost is pretty good. Not many units have that high of an attack boost as a buddy, but man, again, such a waste of an opportunity, and his abilities are trash. A lot of people been telling that throughout this current Ninja Road, if you don't know, if you're watching this after this Ninja Road goes away, we have maps that Jutsu Seal, Chakra Seal and stuff, and he does have like a chance to not get Chakra Sealed, but the boss that does that, which is Gamabunta, is killed in his body, so he's gonna be taking a lot of damage, so it's not even worth bringing him. So just overall, terrible unit. Like, it's good to have one copy of him, but when you already have a copy of him and you pull more, it's like, him again, you know, it's just terrible. So the next one, it hurts me, but I have to. It's Nagato. He's my favorite character in the anime, but he's not a good unit. He's just not a good unit. For PvP, when he gets his limit break, he may be a good PvP unit, but man, he's just not very good. He does have, however, a good thing, which is the damage reduction that he can have. He has a 30% ability damage reduction, and if you sync with Wisdom, he also reduces damage by 20%. So overall, 50% damage reduction, give or take, because the math doesn't work like that. It's almost like 27% because you add up. But let's say 50 for more ease. And you say like, well, Gara also reduces 50 and you place him 10th. Well, this guy, it's for all, but after that, doesn't do anything. Gara at least had Jutsu Ceiling, which is a useful thing, but Nagato has Recovery Ceiling. Health Recovery Ceiling. He is a unit that was made for a raid, which is what like really makes him not very good. Units that are made for raids, just as the Sasuke that I just was the top 3 worst one. They're gonna be outdated. He was the guy that introduced this ability, the 5% chance of restoring 1 chakra, which I don't like. At least you have the chance. Like, sometimes it will pop up, but it's so rarely that when it pops up, you're like, oh, it did. You know, like, it happened. You know, like, it's just not a good ability. And overall, doesn't do any damage. He has a low attack stat with a low multiplier. Just not very good. I don't mind getting him because at least his abilities are worth it, but overall, doesn't even go into 28, so, you know, just not very good. Now, the unit that is, in my opinion, the worst Blazing Festival unit in the game is Night Guy. Night Guy, the Deep Crimson Youth. So, we have an issue. My guy in the anime was such a strong character. This Night Guy was such a strong character. He destroyed the Madara that is currently the best unit in the game. The one Rinnegan Madara. He destroyed him. Absolutely destroyed him. But the one that we have in the game is trash. Now, he is the highest attack stat in the game. I'm pretty sure he is. He's a 3600 attack stat. If you attack boost him, like, you have all the abilities. It's just not enough though. Like, his multiplier is so low. Like 14 times, you would look at that and say, well, but he has a very high attack stat. That means that he's gonna hit very hard. But the issue is that units that have a low attack stat and a very high multiplier, like Sage 6 Obito in Final Valley Naruto, are so much better, because you can attack boost them with buddy boost and field boost, and the high multiplier is gonna make itself much more worth than a low multiplier and high attack stat. So overall, just not very good. If you sync him as well, he's gonna be having an even extra attack stat, and he is going to have a limit break really soon with Susanoo Kakashi and the Bravery Sakura, but again, it's just not gonna be enough. Not only that, but he's single target on both jutsus, which I already established is not very good, and he only does damage. He doesn't even heal like Killer B does, and he depletes your health. He's like the opposite. He doesn't heal. He takes your health away, and he's 6 and 12. Just like top it off. He's 6 and 12. He's a like every time you get one, you're like, wow, yikes, you know. He's a big yikes when you get him. And again, just not very good, you know. At least he removes perfect dodge and barrier. Nope. That's a nope for me. So that's my list. Let me know in the comments the ones that you think should be the list, and let's not take account the ones that I said in the beginning of the video, the Heart Itachi, the Wisdom Zabuza. They are Blazing Festival units, but really they shouldn't be. So thank you guys for watching, and please fucking subscribe.